Welcome to DT2 Comics Chat Review. Today we'll be reviewing The Flash, Season 1, Episode 4, Going Rogue. The good. In terms of what was good, the intro still feels really good and really accurate because we feel like we're kind of progressing with Barry, at least a little bit. Right off the bat, this episode shows you the heavy fun and natural chemistry. Okay, check it. Natural chemistry that Barry, Cisco, and Caitlin have, as well as, fake evil Dr. Wells, but he needs to be there too. And it reemphasizes how Iris is off on her own thing, on her own little side adventure with Eddie. She's not a part of OG Team Flash, and she doesn't need to be to make the show work. Okay, that's as plain as day here once again. It's good that we get our first introduction to Leonard Snart, the indomitable Captain Cold, and right away we see his ruthlessness and the way that Wentworth Miller just chews every word that he says. Seriously. Okay, Barry's still kind of moving like he should. He's fast enough to stop people, but not two places at once fast. So that was good. Once more, I have to say that Iris and Eddie are the right couple. Not having Iris in Star Labs is the right move. Having her as a side character is the right place. Iris and Eddie, they light up when they're together. They glow. They're the right fit. Now, Felicity in this episode is both good and meh. The good part is that I love crossovers of almost any kind. She also has a great chemistry with Barry, and you wonder why they didn't even at least try and become a couple. I mean, they said they were in love with other people, but there was clearly some open potential there, especially when she walks into Jitters with that dress on. Holy cow. Okay? Even Iris recognizes that Barry and Felicity work together well. Barry and Felicity get each other, but I want you to understand that's a clear contrast to the fact that Barry and Iris don't. Iris never really knows what he's really thinking, and she sees how well he clicks with a nerdy girl, which she is not. Okay? The show is making its own case for Barry not being with her. Okay, what was also good was the way Captain Cold calculated the amount of seconds it took for the Flash to get to the scene of the armored car incident. That was really good. Tom Cavanaugh's Dr. Wells still steals every single scene he's in. His menace and his threatening ways with Cisco and all throughout the episode are incredible. This episode has the right balance between action, romance, and humor most of the time. I'll get to that later. It was good and kind of ironic to hear Caitlin talking about frostbite. That was kind of foreshadowing. Best Barry moment is when he saves everyone on that train as it's derailing and falling apart at super speed. That was great. And it was great for the tag scene to use a way to introduce Heatwave and introduce that classic Rogues Gallery partnership. Again, a big old wink to the name, Going Rogue. So we've got two of the Flash's rogues. Although we started off with Weather Wizard, but we're going to keep Heatwave and Captain Cold around for a while. A word from our sponsors. Read comics. Your enjoyment of a show is enhanced when you read the original source material. Click on the link below this video to get some outstanding comic recommendations. The meh. In terms of what was just kind of meh, Iris says, after all these journalism classes, I started a blog. And wait now, what happened to her dissertation, okay? Did she graduate from any place? Did she have a degree? Okay, she was just taking classes and she wrote a dissertation, and what happened? And her big thing is to start an anonymous blog, okay? And right here, the show also makes it clear that it's the Flash, or the Streak, as they're calling him, that Iris cares about. She dedicates her first journalistic work to him. That's not non-comics accurate, but on this show, they draw a clear line. It's more like Lois was with Clark and Superman. She was in love with Superman and she couldn't stand Clark. That's kind of what they've created here. And Iris is clearly fangirling. It's not journalism only. It's fangirling. Fangirling is not bad, but let's be clear about what it is, because that's going to come into play later. Okay, Felicity still has that really annoying way that she talks, where she stutter steps and second guesses everything. So my nickname for her is Second Gear, because that's the way she talks. Okay, and the obviousness of the red shirts around Captain Cold was kind of hilarious, but kind of like really obvious. The ugly. In terms of what was ugly on this show, the pacing is too slow. It doesn't have that electricity the other episodes have had. It's really kind of boring, and it didn't have to be. The double date at Jitters, parts of that was just awful. Watching Barry pining over Iris when Iris is sitting up there telling him that Felicity is the right match for him, and he's just looking at her with that look. I mean, that is just smells like loser, and Barry Allen is not a loser. He doesn't have to be a loser, okay? He doesn't have to pine over somebody that's clearly not thinking about him. Now, I guess they were trying to establish that Cisco's cold gun was faster than Barry and could also hurt him. The only time I bought that is when Snart shot him in the back when he wasn't looking. All them other times, in terms of the physics of super speed, is not possible, okay? I get what absolute zero is, don't get me wrong, but there's no way it's moving out of that gun faster than Barry's moving and faster than Barry can react. So that was just really ugly. They really stretched it, and you know, Barry's fast enough to move out of the way if he sees that gun coming every time, every single time. What's also ugly here is that the villain is clearly the B story. The A story is, why isn't Barry with Felicity? And building superhero shows around the Dawson's creakiness of it all is never my favorite thing. But still, going back to what was good, they proved that Barry does need to be with Felicity or someone like her, like Caitlin. Okay, Felicity gives the pep talk in this episode, and I'm already sick of the pep talks, and Barry needs one every week. And I don't like it when the hero is the only one that doesn't believe in himself or his cause. Okay, and finally, the fact that Barry had to be weakened so that Team Flash could save the day, guest starring Felicity, the hero being sacrificed once again to prove that he needs his team and that his team is smarter than him and can think on their feet better than him, and Cisco saves him with a vacuum cleaner. No. Now, I've got something here I can't quite classify, which is unusual, but that's the kiss in the conversation at the end. I really kind of liked it, to be honest with you, but the show changes completely if they put Felicity on this show, and I do not want Felicity on The Flash. So it's kind of like a multiple kind of thing, but the fact that they kissed and the fact that they realized there was something there and the fact that it could have gone somewhere, and she wasn't repulsed by the kiss, she was like, bye, Barry. So they both kind of agreed to say goodbye to a potential relationship, but it didn't make sense as to why. And, you know, why can't we have a relationship on any of these shows that actually goes well, where the people that are together belong together? Because all Oliver and Felicity do is fight. And all Barry and Iris do is fight and break up and make up, and they don't have anything in common like he does with Cisco and Caitlin. So, I mean, you know, I don't know. I think the kiss was kind of the final seal to show that they're never going to put the right people together on these shows. And, So, all in all, this episode wasn't bad, but it could have been a lot better. This one I only give a 7 out of 10. You know, it had potential that it didn't realize and went in the wrong direction in too many cases. But still the first season, still got a long way to go, and so still enjoyable. Keep watching. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and ring the bell to know when new videos drop.